How to make your own Dancer's Enchanted Sword from Dark Souls 3. I enjoyed making this prop because it blended hard surface modeling in Fusion 360 with organically sculpted details in ZBrush. The blade can be printed quickly and finished without hours of sanding or complicated assembly. The sword can be finished in 2 prints, 4 parts of the blade printed in a clear filament, and the upper and lower parts of the handle in an opaque filament. I like black for this. You will also need super glue, a metal or wooden rod that's 1/8 of an inch thick by 6 inches long, about 36 inches of LED strip, the thinner the better, remove any plastic casing it comes in, an LED connector clip, a thin metal wire, painter's tape, watch batteries, electrical tape, XTC 3D, So Strong dye in black, orange, and purple, foam brushes, tongue depressors, small measuring cups, tinfoil, and nitrile gloves. First, insert the LED strip into the tip of the blade and use a little dab of glue to keep it from moving. Next, begin threading the strip through the next highest part of the blade and glue them together. Connect the bottom end of your strip to some wire to have an easier time pulling it through. Once your blade is completely threaded and assembled, glue the rod into place and wrap the LED in tape to protect it from the resin. Next, put on your gloves and mix part A and B of XCC in a 2:1 ratio. Pour the mixed resin over tinfoil so you have more working time. I like to fold the edges of the tinfoil up to prevent spilling. Brush a thin coat of resin over the entire blade with a foam brush. Be sure to get a new brush if it begins to thicken up too much. I like to clamp the sword down over some tarp to keep it safe and mess-free once I'm done coating it in resin. While the resin of the blade is hardening, repeat the process with the other 2 parts of the grip, but mix in a few drops of black dye to hide the print lines. You do not need to glue the grip top and bottom together because they'll pressure fit for access to your electronics. Once the resin is fully cured, you can sand it lightly to remove some of the imperfections before adding another coat. I like to do at least 3 passes, but you can do more if you miss spots or need it to be more smooth. Once your blade is smooth, you can add a final coat of resin with 2 drops of either the orange or purple dye, depending on if you're making the fire or darkness version of the sword. You can even use acrylic paints and paint a nice gradient to give it a more dramatic effect like I did with an airbrush. For the metal effect, I painted black gloss acrylic with a paint roller and airbrushed chrome paint over that. Once the blade and grip are ready, you can thread the LED strip through the top of the grip and glue the blade and handle together. Next, just clip your connector to the strip and attach it to 9 volts of watch battery, no soldering necessary. And that's it! You can make an additional blade in another color and use more complicated electronics if you want your sword to flicker or cycle the LEDs on and off, but making a smooth glowing prop can be done well with little experience by just using the right materials for the job.
Hey.